Hello, it is Friday, April 25th. I think that's the date. I've kind of lost track of time over the last couple of months. But I'm finally getting back out to one of my bee yards and seeing how they're doing. I have a chore I want to get done today. I have some of these Endura wax dipped boxes, and just looking at them, I'm already in love with them. I think they're just about the best box around. I don't think you could come up with a better box. And I'm gonna swap. I have enough to swap all of the boxes that in one of my yards, and I'm going to swap the ones that I use basically for my brood chamber, and then next year I'll probably do another yard, hopefully, and eventually I'm going to get them all switched out to wax dipped boxes. I've already swapped 2 of them on 2 of the hives, and I'm going to swap the other 6 hives today. And the rest of this, I'm just going to check and make sure these bees are okay, make sure they've got plenty of food, make sure they're not going to swarm on me. For around here, we're a little bit early for swarms. I suppose we could have them this early, but we usually don't see swarms till May, and that's just around the corner, so I guess it's not all that early. I don't typically see many swarms around here. At least nobody calls me to come pick up a swarm. And I really try hard to keep my bees from swarming. And I don't see too much swarming. Of course, I'm not out in my yards every day, so I'm not sure. My hives could swarm and I'd come back and I probably never even know, just other than the queens missing. But because I do late summer queens, and all of these queens, this is really their first spring, I don't see swarming very much, and it's not been a big issue for me. So I guess that's the advantage of doing what I'm doing. But I will check and just kind of make sure that they're not doing that on me. And we're just about to really start into our honey flow. Trees are popping, the Bradford pears popping, the Canadian reds are popping. What else is, like, crab apples are blooming, and things are just getting going. So we're going to start bringing in some nectar. Pollen's been out there for a while, but we keep getting some pretty hard frosts, and then it warms up, and we haven't had a hard frost for several days, and weather outlook doesn't look like we're going to get a frost at least for the next 10 days. You can come along and watch me swap some boxes. Not going to be too thrilling. All I'm going to do is just pull the frames out of these and put them in these new Endura hive boxes, and put them back together. So as you can see, 6 of these hives I haven't changed out yet, but these 2 in the back I've already swapped them. And just standing here looking at the bees and the coming and the going, they all look like they're alive, probably doing quite well. This yard was my best yard last year, and I'm hoping we have another good year. So I'm going to hurry and get into these, hopefully get the rest of these boxes swapped out today, and I may add a honey super if I think they're ready for some extra room. So I've got honey supers in the truck, and if they need extra room, I'm going to add honey supers. Okay, I've got all my boxes staged here, so I can hopefully get through this fairly quickly. Let's see what these ladies look like. Haven't touched them for a little while. Not sure what I'm going to find. Maybe they maybe they swarmed on me. Hopefully not. Let's take a peek. Well, they're up this far. I don't remember which boxes I've reversed and which boxes I haven't. So I'm going to kind of look through these. I can see these right here have got bees on it, but I'm going to see what we've got going here. And that's leftover honey. And same there. I can see that is. Now, let's see what we got here. Lots of pollen. Tiny bit of brood right there, but I've got some brood here. A little more brood. Not a great brood pattern though. Well, let's see if we can find the queen. I want to push her down into the bottom 2 boxes. I only run 2 boxes for the brood chamber during the summer. And then I give them a 3rd box in the fall and let them have the queen. She can have full reign of all 3 boxes. And then I overwinter in 3, which seems to work pretty well. I've got queen cups on the bottom, but nothing in them. Still no sign of the queen. Again, not a great brood pattern here. I'm not liking that too well. Hive seems to be okay, but not one of my better brood patterns. All right. I guess I should have been moving those frames over while I was doing this, but I didn't. That wasn't very smart of me. Now I gotta handle them all over again. I'm just checking for the queen. Not really seeing eggs yet, but most of this brood's a little bit older. And these 2 are honey. Oh, those are heavy. All right. I think that'll be the top box. Pull that off. And trying to decide if I want the feeder in the 2nd box or in the top box. I usually leave it in the 2nd box. That one hasn't been drawn out. I don't know if they're going to draw that out very well. Didn't get drawn out last year. Might have to replace that one. Bunch of pollen. Okay, I'm going to move this pollen more to the outside. More capped brood. Again, not a great pattern. This queen needs to be replaced. And she'll get replaced this summer. And maybe sooner if I feel like I need to. There she is. Here's my queen. She looks good, but looks can be deceiving. All right, so now we know where my queen's at. And I have some of these plastic frames, and I don't care for them very well. All right, she's got plenty of room to lay in this box. Let's see what's going on down below. Okay, that's going to be box 2. I'm going to set it to the side here. And I know where my queen's at. So we can just move these right over. These are mostly empty. Yeah, all of this is empty. I've seen plenty of pollen and plenty of honey, so they're not starving. All right, I think what I'm gonna do though is I think I'm gonna swap boxes with them, which means the feeder's gotta come back out. I'm going to put the feeder over here. Pull 2 frames out. Put them over here. So we know my queen's down here. This will become the second box. Nice and gentle here. Feeder will go back in this way. And I just leave my feeders in year round. And I'm going to add my queen excluder. And I think we're going to be right into a honey flow. So I think I'm going to add a honey box. Now it may seem a little bit odd to do it this way, but I'm going to add my empty honey super right here. And I've got 2 frames in the middle that are drawn, and then everything else is undrawn foundation. And I'm going to put this box on the top, just like that. This one kind of looks similar. Not tons going on up here in the top box. A little bit of pollen. Oh, they're bringing in some, I think they're picking up some nectar from somewhere. That'd be good. Like I say, I think our honey flow is just about to kick off here. So I want to make sure these gals have plenty of room. There's some brood. More brood. A little better pattern on this one. Maybe this box will become the bottom box. Maybe that's what I'll do. Looks like I've got lots of brood up here. Hopefully the queen's up here in the top, then we can just make this the bottom box. See, a little better brood pattern on this gal. The spots that are missing in here, I can see nectar down in them. Oh yeah, she's got this all laid up with eggs. All right, still didn't see her. So she may be down a box. Oh, lots and lots of nectar. That one's heavy. We're back into brood. Not a bad pattern, not perfect, not spectacular, but not terrible. See, that's not too bad there. Sometimes it's just a matter of having empty cells all together that the queen can lay in. Sometimes her brood pattern isn't her fault. Sometimes the bees have filled up her brood cells with other things. She doesn't have a choice but to have a poor brood pattern. Seeing a few cups here, nothing in them. Still haven't found her yet though. All sorts of pollen down in there. There she is. Oh, she's a red dot queen. She's a 2-year-old queen. Somehow I missed her this last year. Yeah, she's got a red dot on her. All right. I'll have to make note of that. She's a 2-year-old queen. Still laying up. Still got plenty of brood. Oh, here's some more queen cups. Just cups though. One more box to go. I should be able to just kind of move right along with this one, because I know where my queen's at. She's got some brood still in here, down here in the bottom. All right. I've got lots of bees a-flying because they're confused. Their hive disappeared. All right. Here goes the first box back on. Box number 2. They're also a little confused because the color of the hive changed. There we go. My lid back on. And that's all I'm doing for the day. Swapping boxes around. Well, I got through all these hives, and as you can see, things aren't always what they look like on the outside. Got these 2 little ones. The one on the left doesn't have a queen. This one's got a queen, and she's got a pretty good pattern, but she's just not, the hive's just really small. And I've got 2 more that they're doing okay, but they're not great. And then you can see the ones with the blue boxes. I added an extra honey super to them. They've got plenty of bees, and they should be ready to go for honey production. These other 2 aren't far behind, another week or 2, and they'll probably be there too, but they're just not quite big enough to do that yet. This one without a queen, I took a frame of brood with mostly cap brood, but it had some eggs around the edge, and gave it to them just to see if they'd make a queen out of it. I think what I'm going to do next week, I can't really do it until next week, but I think what I'm going to do is I've got a couple of hives at the house, and I think what I'll do is bring one of them down and drop it in that spot and get that hive going again. This other little one, I think what I'll probably do is I'm going to have some extra bees after I sell some nukes, and I think I'll just bring a box of bees. They won't have a queen because these guys have a queen. I'll just drop an extra box of bees on top of them, and I think they'll be okay. So, got through the yard. Other than that, they're doing okay. I can tell honey flow hasn't really started yet. There's a little tiny bit coming in. Most of these big hives have plenty of pollen. They've still got honey stores left, so they're going to be okay for a few days. And as soon as that honey flow kicks in, they'll be great. So, that's all I'm doing. Hopefully get to the other 2 yards tomorrow and basically do the same thing, except this is all of the Endura wax dipped boxes that I've got. So I'll keep this yard. We'll make it the Endura wax dipped yard for now, and then next year maybe we can buy some more and trade out another yard. I'd like to trade out all my yards because I really like these boxes. Anyway, hope your bees are doing well. Have a great day.